Recently, I was sitting in church listening to a sermon, and the central message that kept coming up was the importance of obedience. And as I listened, I noticed something happening in my body. There was a tightening, there was discomfort. And not because I reject faith or reflection or personal growth, mostly because I spend my days supporting adult daughters who grew up in families where obedience never was about faith, reflection, or personal growth. It was about control. And I keep thinking about the word obedience. Obedience isn't something chosen freely, it's expected. And questioning it often comes with guilt, fear, or punishment. Obedience and respect are often used interchangeably. However, they are not the same thing. Not at all. Obedience is based on authority and control. It requires that one person or entity holds absolute power over others' choices. Obedience demands compliance. It expects agreement. It expects that someone else gets to decide what is right, moral, and just. And your role is to simply follow. Questioning authority in an obedience-based system is often framed as disloyal, rebellious, or disrespectful. Obedience is not relational. It is hierarchical. It places one person or entity above all others. And in many families and systems where manipulation exists, obedience becomes one of the mechanisms that keeps people silenced. It keeps people compliant. It keeps people from connecting with their own voice. Respect is something entirely different. Respect is relationship-based. Respect recognizes the dignity, humanity, and autonomy of all parties in a relationship. Respect allows for difference. Respect allows for disagreement. Respect allows you to say, I care about you, and I'm still allowed to think, feel, and choose differently. Respect doesn't require silence. Respect doesn't require submission. Respect doesn't require you to abandon yourself. Respect is mutual. And that mutuality is what makes it fundamentally different from obedience. For many adult daughters who grew up with manipulative parents or in other manipulative systems, obedience was taught to be the same thing as respect. You may have been told things like, if you loved me, you would listen. Or, if you respected me, you would do what I say. Or maybe something like, good daughters don't question their parents. You may have gotten these messages from other systems outside of your family as well. Over time, those messages become internalized. So when you grow up and start connecting with your own boundaries, making your own decisions, it often doesn't feel like independence. It can feel like you're doing something wrong, as if you're being disloyal, as if you're being disrespectful. But disagreement isn't disrespect. Autonomy isn't disrespect. And having your own voice doesn't mean that you lack respect. Another reason this confusion between obedience and respect runs so deep is most cultural systems for minimally the past several centuries have historically been patriarchal. Patriarchy organizes relationships through hierarchy. Authority flows downward. Historically, within patriarchal systems, people socialized as female, children, or other vulnerable populations are most taught to defer, to accommodate, to be agreeable, to obey. Obedience becomes a moral expectation. And when obedience is the expectation, autonomy is often viewed as rebellion. But reclaiming your voice is not rebellion. It is foundational. It is a human need, a human right. You can respect someone without obeying them. You can care about someone without surrendering your autonomy. You can acknowledge your parents' perspective without giving them authority over your adult life. Healthy relationships are not built on obedience. They are built on mutual respect. Two people, two voices, two perspectives. If you've been a part of any system where obedience was expected, it makes sense that this distinction feels uncomfortable. Your nervous system has learned that disagreement means danger, that having your own voice meant conflict. When you consider your current relationships, perhaps you reflect on the following. Am I being asked for respect or obedience? You are allowed to build relationships in your life that are based on respect, not control. If you've spent years with this belief imprinted in your heart that having your own voice somehow means you're being disrespectful, know that respect and obedience are definitely not the same thing. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not lifelong compliance. You are allowed to grow into a life where your voice, your perspective, and your autonomy are valued parts of your relationship. Sending you lots of love. Take good care of yourself. You're so worth it.